Welcome to the Fire Mountain Gems and Beads Jewelry Making Studio. This is Elaine, and I am going to show you how to make a leaf cane today.
Get our email newsletter for beading news, sale announcements, new product announcements, and more. Link is in the description below.
So today we're going to start out by showing you how the cane is done, and it is starting with a Skinner blend. You can visit our website and learn more about the Skinner blend and more examples of its use. Here is an example of a Skinner blend. A Skinner blend is a sheet of clay of 2 or more graduated colors. It was named after the developer and created by Judith Skinner. So you can see we have 2 colors here, a green and a blue, and a Skinner blend you could use 2 or more colors, but today we're using 2. I'm going to take it to the pasta machine and we're going to run it through its thickest setting. After running it through the pasta machine on its thickest setting, either 0 or 1, you're going to get something that looks like this. You can see the graduated color from dark to light. After that, I'm going to take it back to the pasta machine and go to another setting, all the way up from 0 to probably 6, depending on your pasta machine. And we're going to come up with something as thin as this. Now we're going to start to roll this up and create our plug, which is the first part of the cane. All right, so I'm going to start rolling from the light side to the dark. And you can do the opposite and roll from the dark to the light. It's just your preference. While you're rolling, you want to kind of squeeze and roll. And also to the center. You don't want any of those air bubbles. Air bubbles create holes, which you would see once you cut. So you want to keep pushing towards the edge and roll tightly. Don't worry about what it looks like and the ends, because we're going to cut those ends off. And as you can see, I'm going to lift this up a little bit and move it towards the center so I have some more brown. Again, we're going to just roll and roll tightly. I'm going to move it again. And there you go. And see, we have a start of a plug here. Now we're going to continue reducing this and squishing it from the center out, because we want all those air bubbles to get out towards the end and push them out. Again, don't worry about what the ends look like. Okay, once you have something that's like that, we're going to cut it in half. And then you're going to see that we have a graduated color scheme here. Okay, again, don't worry about the edge. I'm going to cut a little bit of this off so it's even. Okay, and now I'm going to start reducing it again. So I'm going to compress and compress on the sides, keeping it tight and, of course, squishing those air bubbles out. Okay, until we get to something that looks kind of like that, a plug. Okay, now we're going to start creating the veins in the leaf. So I'm going to make cuts. And this is going to be where your veins are. Okay. And then once we do that, we're going to take some of the black that I have here. And then we're going to put the black in between. We're going to put the black in between the sections here. So I'm going to just cut. And then we're going to actually put the little pieces back together with the black in between. If you have a hard time picking up the clay, use your blade. And we're going to put that back in there. And then I'm going to do it again. We're going to cut some more. I'm going to go over this a little bit. So we add the black in there, and then we're going to do one more. Actually, I think we can fit this little piece in here. All right. So then we have a little thing that has a little plug that has 3 sections open with black. Okay. Now I'm going to cut it in half again, but I'm not going to go directly down the center. I want to kind of go off center, and you'll see why. All right. And then I'm going to put some black in between that. We'll lift that up again. So instead of putting it exactly where it was, I'm going to actually flip it. So what I mean to flip is how we had it here before. Now I'm going to just turn it. So now you can kind of see a leaf shape forming. Don't worry about it not being even in the black on both sides, because we're still going to reduce it more. And you'll see the results after we get done with it. So don't worry about what it looks like right now. Now I'm going to just keep reducing it again, making the plug fatter and wider, making sure all those air bubbles stay out of the way. And don't worry about what it looks like on the ends. Again, it's going to be better looking on the inside once we cut. Okay. So once I get something that looks like this, we're going to start rolling the black around it. Okay. So I think that's good enough. It feels like it's tight. All right. Now I'm going to get the black sheet that I had rolled out previously. I don't think I need that much, so I'm going to just cut this in half. All right. I'm going to trim the edge off a little bit. So I'm going to start here and go at a 45-degree angle. And that just gives a real nice starting point. Okay. And then we're going to take our plug and I'm going to line it up to the edge. Take your knife blade or craft knife and kind of help it along. And then you're just going to roll. And I'm going to cut off the excess, so don't worry. If you roll all the way up to the top and then stop, you'll actually make a nice little indent right about there. And just make another 45-degree angle cut. And you can see it kind of just stopped right there. So you just kind of seal the edges. And I'm also going to cut this extra black off that we have here. You don't need that part. Okay. So now we have this sealed and we're going to continue reducing. Now at this point you can stop and cut. I'm going to show you. And you can have different sizes of your cane. So I'm going to cut this in half just to show you what it looks like on the inside at this point. And you can see the leaf is starting to form. So I'm going to put half of that away because we can have actually leaves that shape, that size. And now you could just start shaping your leaf and reducing. Again, we can reduce it to smaller. I'm going to actually make this smaller. Okay. And then you could start putting the leaf shape in by squishing the top and the bottom. Or you can have round leaves. You can have any type of leaf shape you want. Use your imagination. You can use different colors. I used blue and green here, but you can use fall colors like orange and red and yellow or rainbow. Your imagination is your limit. Or there is no limit to your imagination, I should say. All right, so once we do that, I'm going to also cut the ends off. That way you guys can actually see. I'm going to lay it on its side so I don't lose part of its shape. There we go. And as we cut the end off, look how beautiful that is now. So we got a beautiful leaf shape. So once you get to this point, you can keep reducing it to make it even smaller or whatever size you want. But I have made a couple of example of things. I'm going to show you if you cut about 1/4 of an inch off, you could start having little leaves, and you can manipulate it and shape it the way you want from that point. Here I made some earrings using the leaves, and you could see that I used the ends and I crimped up the ends to kind of have it a curl instead of being just flat. And I just added some jump rings and an ear hook for those. Here I made the leaves actually really, really thin, and I made a little flower out of all of it. So there's tons of things you can do. Here's another example I made using the leaves very, very thin. I took a couple of colors of clay, put them on top of it, and rolled it out. This collage you could use and make different types of earrings, any type of shape you want. As you can see, there are so many different ways that you could use a leaf cane. Use your imagination and create your own leaf designs. You can find more ideas and supplies at firemountaingems.com. And remember to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for joining me today. Have fun.